Okami sequel in the works with Capcom and Hideki Kamiya's new studio, Clovers. Hidkei Kamiya is directing an Okami sequel with Capcom. Kamiya is making the game with a revived Clover Studio. The game will retain the cel-shaded art style and feature the celestial brush. The veteran developer has taken on the role of studio head and chief game designer and is leading work on the company's debut project, a sequel to 2006 cult hit Okami, for which Kamiya was the game director. The intent behind the name for Kamiya's new studio is clear. The original Okami's developer was the Capcom-owned Clover Studio, which also developed God Hand and the Viewtiful Joe games. There's not much to share at this stage. The game doesn't even have a formal title, but we do have a little blurb from Capcom. Here it be. Okami is a game critically acclaimed for its unique world, heartwarming story, and exciting adventures. Now, a new adventure in the same vein as Okami has been set in motion. The announcement of Clover suggests that, while it will have teams in Osaka and Tokyo, the studio will be formed of a core group of elites who create and develop the core of games, hence the need for co-development partners. It was announced that Hideki Kamiya and a revived Clover Studio are working on an Okami sequel with Capcom. The game was announced with a stylish trailer that, despite being brief and not showing any actual gameplay, did seemingly confirm some details about the Okami sequel. It looks as though Okami 2, or whatever it ends up being called, will retain the cel-shaded art style of the original, bring back the White Wolf Amaterasu as the protagonist, and it will once again feature the celestial brush. We may be small in size, but our souls are big and powerful. As a game studio, we will continue to work with the same convictions we had when I first entered the game industry, to bring happiness to your gaming life. It will be some time before we greet you again, but we really hope you look forward to this project, reads Capcom's page on the Okami sequel. Clovers with an S is not to be confused with Clover, the studio which developed Okami and which Kamiya was a part of. This studio was unfortunately shuttered not too long after Okami's debut. Earlier this year, Kamiya said Okami was a huge failure in terms of initial sales, and had it been more successful, Clover would have probably continued. Thankfully, though, the studio seems to be getting a bit of a revival with Clovers. Many of Okami's original staff members are returning for the sequel, which is also be worked on by M2 Incorporated and Machine Head Works Inc.